fell. Fell. Was about fall. Fell is the past tense of fall. He is falling. Right now, he's falling. Please don't fall. Oh, he's falling. And yesterday, he fell. What happened to your arm? Why are you wearing a bandage on your arm? Yesterday, I fell and I tripped over the curb and fell and injured my arm. I fell. Fall. Please don't fall. Be careful. Please don't fall. And so what happened? He fell. He wasn't careful. He fell. What is yell?
Shout. Shout.
Yeah. To yell is to call out in a very loud tone. Over here. Over here. What's he saying? He's yelling, over here, come here. Yelling, a loud voice, saying something, could be anything. What is he yelling about? I don't know, I can't really make it out. He's yelling though, he's screaming. The yell. Bell. What does that mean? A bell. Ding dong. Well, a bell is an instrument, an item that makes the sound ding dong. A bell. You can push the doorbell. Ding dong, ding dong. Oh, who's there? Doorbell. The church bell. Boom, boom, boom. Or the temple bells.
In the temple, it's really big, but we still call bell.
Sure, why not?
Oh,
If you have a need, it's the bell of the ball. The bell of the ball. A woman that happens to be dressed all up and very attractive and known as the belle with the E, belle of the ball. What is tell?
oh. I told you.
You can tell me what tell means? Okay, yeah, to tell me what tell means is to tell me what tell means. To tell, to speak some words that, have a meaning of some sort. Can you tell me what time the plane leaves? Yes, I can. I can tell you the plane leaves at 9 o'clock. Can you tell me where the market is? Yes, the market is 2 streets down and turn right. Tell me. Tell me. Speak and relate what's going on. Can you tell me what time it is? Yes, 10 o'clock. Bell, tell, yell, well, a lot of meanings for the word well.
It's good. Good.
How are you feeling? Oh, I'm very well, thank you. We need some water. You better go to the well. The well, not too many wells around right now, but used to be the place where you could get a bucket and pull it up and the water would be in the well. Or years ago, the desks used to have little containers and you would put ink in a bottle in the ink well. Ink well. but you don't see that anymore.
Well, it's not the,
Well-
it's not human made, right? Or it's human made.
Yeah, well, a well for water is, yeah, it's dug into the ground so that you can pull up the water. Something, you know, years ago, but that was a well. And there's still wells around some places, but not that many. Well, what do you think? It's a lot of times it has no specific meaning. If I say, well, what do you think? Well, the question is, what do you think about something? The well is just kind of an introductory word. Well, what do you think? Well, I don't know. So the answer is, I don't know, but the well is just kind of thrown in there. It's kind of an extra word that, in many cases, it has no specific meaning. Well, you know what I mean. And so what that means is, you know what I mean, the well is just thrown in as an extra word. So you'll hear that very often, but it has no specific meaning. Unless I say, well, how are you feeling? Oh, I'm very well, thank you. That means I feel good. Is he getting better? Yes, he's a lot more well now than he was last week.
You get well.
Yeah, are you getting, he's getting well. He'll be fine in a few days. He's had a bad cold, but he's getting well. Well, I hope he gets well. In other words, I hope he gets well. The well, that well is just thrown in as an extra word. But if you look in the dictionary, there'll be many, many uses for the word. Many, many. A lot of them have no specific meaning. Well, I don't know. Well, that means I don't know. The well is just thrown in there. You can say, I don't know, but I guess people feel more comfortable saying, well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. Conjunction. Conjunction.
Yeah, something just thrown in there. No specific meaning. So,
Sell, like a sale.
yeah,
Sell something.
something for money. I am selling books on the history of Thailand. And would you like to buy a book? Because I am selling the book. I'm not giving the book away for free. No, I'm selling the book. If you want the book, 200 baht.
Yes.
Ooh,
Sell.
I don't want it that bad. 200 baht for a book. Nice. Crazy. Adele.
Deal. Have a deal?
Not a deal.
Not a deal.
Deal is D-E-A-L. That's a whole different thing. This is Del. Small valley between two hills.
Oh.
Del. The farmer in the Del.
Now, so it's the same meaning of valley.
Little bit.
Valley.
Sometimes valleys can be bigger than dells. Oh, and cell.
It's a little unit.
Exactly, yeah, right. The cell is the smallest living part of a human or animal or plant body. The human body is made up of millions of cells.
Or sell or when sell.
But if you go to some places and you can see somebody in a cell, in a cell, where would you be if you saw people in cells? Prison. A prison cell.
Prison sell. Prison sell.
a small room in a prison where the prisoners are kept. They are in the jail cell. The cell. Open the door, chink, lock it, he's in the cell. And you go to a prison, cells everywhere. The prisoners are in the cells. Prison cell. Tell, relate. To talk about something, to tell a story. I'd like to tell you a story. Tell, speak. Bell, ring the bell. Bong, 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 bong. He fell. He tripped over the curb and fell. Hit the ground. Sell, I'd like to sell you this book. 200 baht. What does he do? He sells books. Well, I hope you're feeling well. Well, I don't know. I think I'll go. I'm not sure. I'll let you know. Well, I don't know. You can look up in the dictionary. Many meanings. Many different ways. Yell. Yo-ho, yo-ho. Yelling. What's all the yelling? Please stop the yelling. The teacher will often say that when he walks into the class. Please stop the yelling. Be quiet. There's other classes. Farmer in the dell, a small valley. Oh, pell-mell. Pell-mell. It means to run in a very disorganized, wild way. The people ran across the field, pell-mell. Everybody running like crazy, pell-mell. Out of control, running.
Teacher, again, please, pell-mell.
Pell-mell?
What is its meaning?
It means to run in a very disorganized, kind of crazy way. The people were running across the field to get to the market where they were giving out free food or something. So they all out of control, not organized, just running like crazy. But the thing is to watch the pronunciation. It's all one letter different. Sell, tell, bell, fell, pell, mell, bell, yell, well. What? Who? What? Sounds like Thai. Any questions about that?
So the cell and cell is different pronunciation, right?
Well, not really. It's really listen. Sell and sell.
Cell.
Sell, sell. No, the pronunciation is not different. The meaning is different and how you use it. If I'm talking about selling items in the store, you know I'm not talking about cells of the body. But if you're in a medical laboratory, you might be talking about, well, we'll try these cells. Well, you'll be talking about the C. But the pronunciation is the same. Cell, cell. It's not like kell, and cell, no. Cell, cell. I'd like to sell you these cells. Oh, really? But the pronunciation is the same, but the context that you would use the words in would be totally different. The market is selling food, and then they are analyzing cells in the laboratory. Two different things. So the context, you would be able to tell, if I just said cell, one word, you wouldn't know if I'm talking S or C. But if I use a sentence, you'll know right away. But there are a lot of words like this throughout English. very close in the pronunciation, but the meaning entirely different. Okay.
Well is well, pond is a pond, right?
What?
If we saw the water in the pond, that's a pond, not a well, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, you would have a well, would be maybe something like this, be under the ground, and you would maybe have a bucket that you could put down and then get the water and lift the water up out of the well. A pond would be maybe some water, you know, surrounded by trees, something like that, a pond. P-O-N-D, a small area of water. Not a lake. A lake would be very large. A stream, very narrow water. This would be like a stream of water. Not a river. Not a river. A river would be like the Chao Phraya River. But a stream could be as narrow as the separation between the chairs here. A stream of water. Pond, a stream. There are many, many words that describe bodies of water. Pond, stream, river, lake, all kinds of words.
The stream is the branch of river.
The
The
stream,
stream is the branch.
a branch of the river,
Of river.
could be. Yeah, the stream could run down here like this. And the water run into the river. And this could be the river. And if you look at a map of a large area, you'll have other smaller rivers running into bigger rivers. And so the small rivers go into the big rivers. And they join together. Creek. Creek. A little larger than a stream, but not very much bigger. There are many ways to describe different bodies of water. Creek, pond, stream, river, lake, ocean. But the smaller ones, there are many different little words that they use. Creek, stream, pond. The pond is just sitting there by itself. There's usually no in or out. Okay?
C-R-E-E-K. What is the meaning of C-R-E-E-K? Creek.
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 Creek. What is
A
it?
small little stream of water. Usually a little wider than a stream. A creek could be, if this is a stream, this could be a creek. It's almost the same thing as a stream, a creek. But a creek is a little bit wider water running maybe into a larger river. So the creek runs through the river. and then the water from the creek goes into the river. The water from the stream goes into the river. Creek. Okay. Now we have some sentences here with these words in it, see what they, how they fit into sentences. Okay, here we'll try this. Work on the pronunciation and the meaning. The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during class. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson. The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during class. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in the class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson. Paying close attention to the day's lesson. Okay.
The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during class. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson.
Right. Success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson. Right, go ahead.
The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during class. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson.
Right, very good. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson. Okay.
The teacher directed the students to follow the rule of the classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during classes. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day lesson.
Right, very good. Paying close attention to the day's lesson. The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Okay, sir.
The teacher directed the students to follow the rule of the classroom. Each student was arrived on time and not talk during class. The teacher also accepted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson.
To the day's lesson. Right, very good. The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Each student was to arrive. 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 Not alive, but arrive. Well, to be alive, but also to arrive. Be alive and arrive.
Allah.
He arrived alive. There's a difference. The L and the R are tricky. He arrived. And when he arrived, I noticed he was alive. Okay, go ahead.
The teacher directed the students to follow the rules of the classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during class. The teacher also asserted the fact that success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's result.
Right, very good. That success in class is dependent on each student paying close attention to the day's lesson. The R sound, the L sound, and the V sound can be tricky. So it takes practice and a review to make sure that you understand B, R, and L. Arrive, alive. as opposed to arriving not alive. But, okay, go ahead.
Teacher directed the students to follow the rule of classroom. Each student was to arrive on time and not talk during class. The teacher also stated the fact that success in class is dependent on